If you've followed me for a while, you know that I like outdoor portable operations like POTA and SOTA. You probably also know that I am a CW key junkie. Today I'm going to scratch both of those itches as we look at the Radio Adventure Gear Ultra Portable Morse Key. Welcome to the House of Ham. I'm Bob, WV7W. I have long pined for a Pico Palm Paddle, but production of those ended several years ago. Then I came across this by Sebastian, DJ5 SE from Germany. Now I wish I could give you a fair comparison between this and the Pico, but I don't have one. I can say that this is ever so slightly larger. The Pico Palm is 15 millimeters by 15 millimeters by 50 millimeters long, as where the Radio Adventure is 20 millimeters by 20 millimeters by 55 millimeters long. From what I can gather, this is about as close as you can come to the original Pico Palm. Now let me talk about the build of this paddle. The body and the paddles are 3D printed, but unlike CW Morse keys, these are printed in resin. So it has a very nice translucent appearance that doesn't show the layer lines of FDM printing. Inside, the paddle's attached to two very thin PC boards that make the electrical connections, but also add some of the spring action. I say some of the spring action as there is also a spring inside too. There's also these two Allen screws for the contact spacing. The only thing the Pico Palm had that this one doesn't is a jack on the back of the paddle to connect a cable. This one has a permanently attached cable, and looking inside it makes sense as there really isn't room for it in the design. I mean, I prefer a jack over an attached cable, but this works too. Just like the Pico, the paddles slide inside, which protects it during travel. This is a nice feature, and the implementation works very smoothly. Finally, there is this base that comes with it that you can slide onto any of the four sides, so you can mount the base on the side of your radio and then slide the key onto the base. This base also holds the Allen key for adjustments. I don't use the base as I prefer to hold it in my hand. It's actually about the perfect size for this. Now let's talk about the feel of this paddle. I actually really like the feel. It's not going to rival a Bengali or even my Bomba Key TP3, but it feels every bit as good as the CW Morse keys that I have. The adjustments out of the box are really good, but if you want to tweak the tension or the spacing, you can. It fits very nicely in my hand, probably one of the best of my paddles in this regard. As for customer service, I have to say it is top-notch, right up there with CW Morse here in the US. There are some things about hams that make things for other hams wanting to please. This is actually my second one of these. The first one I had was an early version that had some issues, like it would send both dits and dahs when I was pressed the left paddle just a little too vigorously. I sent Sebastian an email, and he sent me this one, no questions asked. Well, not completely true. He did have me verify my address. Now this new one doesn't suffer from the same issues as the first one, and I understand that he made some adjustments to the design to correct for the issue. Bottom line is that even though Sebastian is a small business, he truly cares about your satisfaction. Now let's hook this up to my Morse Reno so you can see it in action. So even with my less than stellar sending, you can see it does very well. The cost to get one of these shipped to the US is about $75, including shipping, so a pretty reasonable price for the quality of this paddle. So if you're like me and want a Pico Palm paddle, this might just be the ticket. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, do me a favor and hit that like button, as it really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. If you want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell to get notified so you know when my next video comes out. Until next time, 73.